1990s.
Welcome to Bracket Bashing, the podcast. We take a bracket of 32, 64, 120 or more and banter our way down to a winner. I am your humble host this week, Freddie Fisher, and this is Bubbles.
The amazing Senator Bubbles from the great state of Bastardom, just here to liven your evening. And this is.
Daddy Kong 83 with no jokes on hand.
And we have a special time, a special podcast, and a special person joining us all the way from across the world. Missy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm excited to get started.
Yeah. This is a new concept for Missy. This is the first time she's ever been on the show, and we're gonna try not to torture her as much as we do our normal people who are on the show and stuff like that. We're gonna try to take it easier on her because I'm hoping to have her back on some later date. If you can't tell by the title of their show, we are talking about the 90s. This is a two-part bracket, which means next week we're doing the second half, which also means we are doing the finals of the bracket to do the entire thing. I am a fan of nostalgia. I grew up in the 90s. I am a 100% 90s kid. I was born in 86, which means my years of 4 to 14 was the 90s, all the good, all the bad, everything else. My life started off with the Challenger blowing up. So that's how that goes. We have a whole bunch of stuff to discuss today. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we start, you notice there's 4 people on the screen today, which means I am not voting. It's going to be Bubbles, Josh, and then Missy after that, which means the pass the parcel rule is in play. If you're one of the if you for whatever reason you don't want to vote up to and including the quarterfinal matchups, you can pass your vote to me. One time during the show, that is it. So make sure to use this wisely. One of the other rules that we have, lifelines we have, is blowing a load, also known as the final swing. If you're one of the first people to go and don't want to be one of the first people to go, you can blow your load. That means you're going last. If somebody else blows their load after you, you are no longer going last. You're going directly before them. And our last lifeline perk that we have is the Q rule, also known as stealing a vote. And you can do this as long as that person has not voted yet in that particular one, which means if they blew their load, that means their vote is still active. And we've had that happen where somebody blew their load and then got their vote stolen from them, which just kind of doubly screwed them over. We're going to go ahead and start this one. Bubbles starts us off. Bubbles, going back to the 90s on this one. Is it Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, or Troll Dolls?
Oh, man. Starting off tough. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I am going to go with Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, because, who didn't want to be a witch? Us 90 kids, I feel like we're still kind of witchy here. And Troll Dolls, they were something different.
Sabrina gets a vote off of that one. Josh.
I'm going with Troll Dolls. Little gems in the bellies and all that. The hair you can mess around with in the bathtub. And hey, they're still relevant today. They got the Trolls movies, so
yeah,
still alive and well. So Trolls it is for me.
The fact that you're messing around with hairy trolls in the bathtub.
Oh yeah. Still.
I mean, that's some comedy material right there, Josh. Missy, how do you feel? You were a tie-breaking decision, by the way. Is it Troll Dolls or Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah, Troll Dolls, without a doubt. I still have like over 100 Troll Dolls. I loved them, and there's this whole history behind it and how they stopped selling Russ Troll Dolls because the original Thomas Dam, their family sued the other people who make at Russ for making them, making Troll Dolls and calling them Troll Dolls. So yeah, I was obsessed with Troll Dolls. No question about it. Although I did like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but no, Trolls all the way.
My favorite thing about the Troll Dolls is that they used to have little pencil toppers.
Yes, I still have them. I love troll dolls.
And
They're all tied up in a little bag.
troll dolls. So everybody, all the uneducated people out there, all the younger people who don't know about troll dolls back in the day, troll dolls didn't wear pants,
Your shirts.
and they were halfway anatomically
Sometimes
correct,
someone
which
did, I
means
think.
they had a big ass butt crack.
Yeah, they had
And
a bum.
so every time that you see a troll doll stuck on the end of a pencil, that pencil went right up that troll doll's butt.
Yeah.
So troll dolls moves on 2-1 to the next
I
round.
wonder why us millennials are into butt stuff.
To each, hey, I'm not going to complain about that. Josh, sticking with the 90s, we have a couple letters going on. Is it CDs, also known as compact disc, or TGIF, if you remember those letters?
Yeah, so TGIF was the weekend sit down with the family series of shows that would be on. And there was good times. But
Not the show Good Times. That's a completely different thing.
now they had things like Family Matters, Step by Step. It was a rotating crop, but what was the one with the Olsen twins?
Full House.
Yeah, Full House. Yeah, that started there. But I'm gonna go with CDs because, like, they were revolutionary. I mean, being able to skip a song without having to fast forward, and being able to burn CDs was even more revolutionary. But I don't think that started till like the 2000s. But CDs started. CDs for me.
CDs gets a vote. Missy, is it CDs or TGIF? Which, by the way, everybody out there, TGIF means thank goodness it's Friday.
Okay. Well, none of those shows would have been on a Friday in Australia, so TGIF or like it was not. Yeah, it wasn't a thing that I remember. So I'm going to go with compact disc because, like you said, they were life changing. And yeah, we had CDs. I had a little portable CD player and played some. Used to play some Eminem actually, and 50 Cent had some singles. Yeah.
I still play a lot of Eminem.
A lot of Eminem.
just not on CDs anymore. Bubbles, finish this out. Is it CDs or TGIF?
I mean, like, I feel like TGIF is still something that a lot of people say today, which is awesome. But I still have CDs today. And I mean, like, my last car like had the CD player in it, so that's
always
always
have
cool.
a CD player now.
Well, I know not right now, but I mean, shoot, I remember getting like Britney Spears "Hit Me Baby One More Time,"
Yes,
a little like Walkman and stuff. Like yeah. So I'm also gonna go ahead and go with CDs as well.
CDs gets a vote. It gets a third vote, which means Bubbles. What is that?
That was naughty.
It was your knees. What's naughty about your knees?
Because it looked naughtier on camera.
And it surprised her enough that she didn't realize that was our first sweep of the evening.
It was a sweep.
Being three people, that there should be a lot of them today. Missy gets to start us off. Missy, is it the movie Titanic or Beanie Babies?
Oh, this is tough.
It's kind of the whole point of the show there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Titanic.
Titanic gets a nod. I'm gonna agree with Missy on this one. That movie is the only one that I actually stood out for a couple of hours just to rent the movie. Not in theaters. Not go watch it in theaters. Go rent the movie because it had like the entire two VHS tape
combo.
Yeah, 2 VHS combo. It's still good.
So
Titanic
exciting
gets one vote. Bubbles, is it Titanic or Beanie Babies?
Listen, I absolutely love the 2 VHS. And then when they moved it to the DVD, we're going to throw out some more of those letters there. They had the double DVDs as well. But I'm sitting here thinking that, these streaming platforms are really missing a good fucking piece of life, not putting it as a two-parter on their streaming platforms. Don't hesitate to reach out to me for other advice streaming platforms. I've got plenty of ideas. However, I love Beanie Babies. I still love Beanie Babies. When I go into like gas stations and grocery stores and stuff like that, and they've got their displays, I am opening those tags. I am looking for those dates, like their birthdays and stuff, and I will get like people that I know, like their birthdays, I will get them that Beanie Baby corresponding with it. So that's going to be my vote. And I also have Beanie Baby trading cards somewhere in storage.
Wow, I did not know they existed.
Yeah.
Beanie Babies gets a nod, which means it is a tie-breaking decision coming down to Josh. Is it Beanie Babies or the movies, or one of the movies that had boobs in it?
It's the Beanie Babies. I only the boob part was worn out on my VHS, so I only got to enjoy it a certain amount of times. And so, but Beanie Babies, we, like she said, we go through at whatever store we're at, and like we look at the birth dates, and we'll create a little event out of it. We're only supposed to be there for one thing, and it takes 45 minutes to dig through Beanie Babies and find their birthdays. But yeah, that's my nostalgia.
Trivia question for everybody on the show today. There's a whole bunch of different knockoffs of Beanie Babies, but what was the company that actually made trademarked Beanie Babies?
Ty.
Yeah, TY.
That is correct. It is Ty. Beanie Babies moves on 2-1 to the next round. Bubbles starts us off on this one. Bubbles, is it the O.J. Simpson murder trial or the Macarena dance?
Oh my God. So the O.J. Simpson trial was going on while I was being hatched.
God, you're so young.
When you were being what? What did she say?
Hatched.
Cat.
Like an egg born.
Like an egg. But I still do the Macarena. I just argued with my 6-year-old on how to do the Macarena. I'm like, listen, I was there when that was created. I'm part of it. So you can't out Macarena me. And she was convinced that she could. But Macarena is going to go ahead and be my vote on this one.
Macarena gets a vote. I've heard a rumor that song is about a woman who slept with an entire soccer team.
Good on her.
I mean, cheating on her boyfriend in the process.
I mean, well, that's rude.
Yeah.
At least, it could have just been consensual. Maybe he would have been cool with it because then he'd be like, listen, get some royalties, get knocked up,
Is it?
Could have been lucrative.
Is it as rude or more rude than the entire Hannibal Lecter type situation?
Slightly less rude.
Slightly less rude.
Slightly less rude because I feel like you're more likely to find out about cheating than you are about eating a human.
Yeah.
What is the likeliness of Hannibal Lecter coming back to you being like, guess what? You ate a human. I fed you human. Whereas eventually the guilt would set in and be like, listen, I just slept with a whole slew of people, some of them at the same time.
Well, I wasn't sleeping. To give you that point.
I had officially I had sex
leg.
with. Yeah.
I did not have sexual relations with that football team.
Yeah.
Macarena gets a vote off of that one. Josh, is it Macarena or the O.J. Simpson trial?
Both of these things haunt me. I wanted neither of them to exist. The O.J. Simpson trial has brought us the Kardashians. It wasted my 3rd grade away. That was the only benefit of the O.J. Simpson trial is we got out of classwork where we had to sit and watch court proceedings. It's like, and then the Macarena. I think I'll go with the Macarena though, because at least it's a form of entertaining.
Macarena gets a vote. Missy, finish this one out. Is it the Macarena or the O.J. Simpson murder trial?
I was, I'm 35. I didn't have a lot to do with. I didn't have much understanding of the O.J. Simpson trial. It wasn't anywhere near as big. I mean, it was big, but it wasn't like streamed like everyone watched it and all those kinds of things. Like I'm sure people watched it, but it was sort of not as big as the Macarena, which was at every party and everybody kind of knew about and everyone did the dance. And the Macarena was kind of global. So I'm going to go with the Macarena. And yeah, we pronounce it Macarena, but I think that's the actual way that it's pronounced by I don't know. They say, hey, Macarena, don't they?
I can't remember. I try to block out that song.
Missy, I'm going to trust you on this because America calls them zebras as well, and it's everywhere else is zebra.
Yeah.
So,
It's not. It is not zebra. It is zebra. All right.
Yeah. We don't get to name things that aren't ours.
That's one of the few things I have learned from Bluey. All right. So
zebra.
Or not. Sorry, not that's not Bluey. That's Peppa Pig.
Oh, yeah.
Mine
it's a shame.
Noah.
It's a shame.
Macarena all the way because
With that, Macarena moves on 3-0. Bubbles, what is that?
That is a sweep.
And we move on to Josh on this one. Josh, we have some music in mind in the 90s. Is it NSYNC or the Spice Girls?
Fuck you,
I think I've successfully pulled my meat to both of these. But fuck Justin Timberlake. He wouldn't tell my girl happy birthday. I'm going
did say
Spice
happy
Girls
birthday,
all
but
the way.
he refused to take a picture.
Wouldn't take a
It
picture
was
with that.
rude. It was so rude.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, Spice Girls are mine.
Spice Girls gets a vote.
Specifically Victoria Beckham.
Missy, is it Spice Girls or NSYNC?
Spice Girls, there was a lot. They were huge. There was a Spice Girls movie. Spice Girls all the way.
I don't know. Like, NSYNC gets a vote gets my vote if I was voting just for the song "Bye Bye Bye" because of Deadpool and Wolverine. That scene, for the people who have seen this movie, and I'm not giving spoilers away because it's on the internet, you've seen it. But this scene is absolutely magical. And when you guys get a chance to watch the movie, you will understand. But that's what it is. Bubbles, finish this out. Is it Spice Girls or NSYNC?
I'm very glad that Spice Girls is moving forward. But I am going to go ahead and I am giving my vote to NSYNC specifically for that reason. But if I were to vote against them, it would absolutely be for the reason of Justin Timberlake. Unfortunately, I don't feel that he is as fabulous as what people had made him out to be. So when I see him in the news, like wilding out and kind of negative, I'm like, totally, I've seen it. And it makes me sad because I used to think he was super awesome.
No.
He's been in a lot of good movies, though. Like, I got to give him that. He really has been.
He was very good in The Social Network. He was very good in that.
I don't think he's bad talent-wise. I just think that,
as an individual,
he's kind of just an asshole. And then, you know what? We're all a little bit of assholes. Don't get me wrong, but
and he's faking it. Like
he rubbed me wrong.
Aaron Rodgers is an asshole, but Aaron Rodgers makes it known that he's an asshole. Justin Timberlake tries to give off that nice guy persona, but
yeah.
Let's just say that he leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Exactly.
Spice Girls moves on 2-1 after that one. Missy starts us off. Missy, is it non-skippable TV commercials or the Tamagotchi?
Non-skippable. What? Oh yeah, right. Okay, forgot for a second. That's right. We used to have commercials we couldn't skip. We still do, kind of. Oh God.
There's a
Yeah, the non-skippable. Because they shaped our life. We had to, got to wait the ad. There's an ad, and I still have that frame of mind. And then I remember, I can skip this. But sometimes I will be like, oh, thank God, an ad's coming, so I can go. I'm not really missing. It's silly, but yeah. So like a huge part of our life.
No, I agree with that. And plus, back in the day, commercials used to have to be good. Now they're skippable, so nobody really cares anymore. They don't have to be good.
Sometimes you have to wait, and you're like, oh, okay, how long until I can skip this?
But it kind of makes it worse, because you knew, since you didn't have the option back in the day to skip them, you weren't sitting there just waiting to skip them, which makes you a lot more angry at the product that they're trying to sell in the first place.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there's a whole bunch of really good commercials back in the day that I still remember off the top of my head. There was a carpet. My favorite commercial of all time. There is a carpet commercial, not a carpet cleaning commercial, where you hear this voice going, "Hey, kitty, kitty." For the almost 20 seconds into the commercial, and you have this cat knocking over potted plants, wherever it went, and then finally it comes up to a bird cage that had a sheet over it. Remove the bird cage, and the bird is a fucking parrot, and it starts barking at the cat, and the cat spazzes out and knocks down lights and everything else. And it turns out it's a freaking carpet commercial, because it's an easy cleaning carpet. I'm sitting there like, that's genius. Because all cats are assholes. They just knock over shit.
Yeah.
Between that and the entire Pepsi commercial, the Coke commercial, where the kid goes to the pop machine and buys 3 cans of pop. He buys 2 cans of Pepsi and then 1 can of Coke, but he uses the 2 cans of Pepsi to stand on so he can reach the Coke button.
I thought it was
that's amazing.
It was the Cokes that he bought.
Well,
he bought the Pepsi.
Either way, but
it was Pepsi. It was a Pepsi ad. Yeah, we didn't have those ads, but I've seen them.
The point is the same. It don't matter. I don't really care either way. Our pop bracket was last week, and neither Coke or Pepsi made it that far. So, anyway, TV commercials gets Missy's vote. Bubbles, is it TV commercials or non-skippable TV commercials or the Tamagotchi?
So when I think of the non-skippable TV commercials, I think, I'm your lady, you are my man. That comes on at 2:00 in the morning when you left George Lopez on overnight. That's what I think of. I also think of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the taste that you can see. Can absolutely quote those ones. But I absolutely loved Tamagotchis. I had a few of them, including a Little Mermaid one. And yes, I killed all of them by them starving to death. And I'm pretty sure they're buried somewhere now. But Tamagotchis is going to go ahead and get my vote on this one.
When you started singing, my first thought was the entire "In the Arms of an Angel."
Far away from here.
Those fucking dogs, dude. I swear. Tamagotchi gets a vote. TV commercials gets a vote, which means it is the tie-breaking decision coming down to Josh. Josh, Tamagotchis or TV commercials?
I don't know who the fuck likes TV commercials for real.
I love commercials.
Only time is Super Bowl time.
Oh God, I love Super Bowl commercials.
Tamagotchis, that's like this epitome of virtual animal abuse. You just piles of shit on your little screen and dead animals, and then you just start over with a clean conscience and just
reset them. They took too long. We had an Omni pet.
Dahmer could have saved a lot of time with a virtual pet. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Tamagotchis.
we had an Omni pet, like we my parents couldn't afford an actual Tamagotchi, so we got an Omni pet, which was one from Japan, and you could choose.
We tie them in, same
and
thing.
They would sleep for like 8 hours, and you'd want to play with it, so you're like, "That's it, I'm resetting it," and I'd be like, "No, wait for it to wake up," but it would take too long, so we'd have to reset it. But I got to a dinosaur.
Well, and then eventually, the people who started with Tamagotchis grew up to play with The Sims.
Yeah.
And got to do a whole bunch of fucked up shit with The Sims.
Yes.
So many babies.
So many babies.
So many
And
Tamagotchi moves on.
That toilets.
Tamagotchi moves on 2-1 to the next round. Josh starts us off. Josh, we're going back to the being kids on this one. Is it the almighty slip and slide or double dare?
Okay. I would have loved to have had a slip and slide. We just had dirt and asphalt. We could not grow grass in our alkaline soil. Like, just refused to take growth of any kind of grass.
It's the saddest story I've ever heard.
Yeah, it hurts.
That hurt my soul.
Especially if you put a slip and slide down on the dirt or asphalt, it hurt worse.
Mm-hmm.
I guess double dare. That's just dare, double dare. Yeah, because we used the hell out of that. I dare you to jump over that kid with the scooter, or 2 kids with the scooter, 3 kids with the scooter, or 4 kids with the scooter. I'm going to occupy a lot of time counting kids with scooters, but dare, double dare. That we'll go with that.
I mean, I would have gone with the TV show personally, but
So the Nickelodeon, is that Nickelodeon or what?
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, I went way off. Is that what if that's what we're referencing, and I'll stick with slip and slide then. Because even though I didn't have one, I wanted one more than a Nickelodeon television show. So we couldn't afford cable either.
Neither could we. Yeah.
slip and slide gets a late vote on that one. Missy, is it slip and slide or double dare?
It's slip and slide because, the sun, the fun, the heat in Australia, our very hot summers, no matter where you are, even if you're at the foot of the mountains, slip and slide for sure. We had a sloped backyard, so but we had bits of tarpaulin and things like that, and we'd put put the sprinkler on and then line it with detergent. So we were a bit crazy, and the backyard sloped, so there was a lot of grazers.
I love watching Facebook videos where they have a whole bunch of drunk people doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
You mix a slip and slide with freaking flippy cup, and you have to go back and forth. It's nuts.
I'm making a kickball game out of it.
Say kickball.
Yeah, put a backhoe in the middle of it and just kind of do donuts. Yeah.
Then you had to go over it to make sure there was nothing sharp underneath in the grass or rocks and things.
Nope, that's trial and error.
Yep.
You take it as you get it.
And the number one rule in life is chick dig scars. So, Bubbles, finish this one out. Is it slip and slide or double dare?
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just throw this out there. I was totally, I guess, raised pretty trashy. Okay. We stole our cable. We did. We had Cartoon Network, we had Disney, we had Nickelodeon, we had it all. And I watched every one of those. I am a good mixture of every single one of those. Also, on the trashy side of this, we had our slip and slide. We had our ghetto slip and slide where we used
Just
fucking
plastic.
black trash bags
Yeah.
to make this slip and slide. Okay, we used oil, we used detergent, we used fucking conditioner and shampoo. We put all of the bubbly things on there. Okay, Bubbles is Bubbles. Yeah, so I on both sides of this. I guess I was definitely small town trashy here. But you know what? Just for the fact that we stole some cable, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh no, never mind. We're giving a sweep. we're gonna do some slip and slides because I think that was definitely a good fun. I remember like having my whole front muscle, everything hurt because you run and you don't care until the next day when you just don't want to move.
As Bubble says, slip and slide does move on with the sweep off of that one. Missy starts us off. Missy, is it Dolly the sheep or Pokemon?
Oh God. I mean, I really want to go with Dolly the sheep because it was revolutionary, and being a scientist and a biologist, it's hard to. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to go with Pokemon, don't you? You have to. Sadly, I mean, sadly no, and sadly yes, because I love Pokemon.
I would have no problem going with Dolly the sheep, to be perfectly honest, because I agree with you. Like it was a revolutionary type thing, and a lot of people nowadays don't know who or what Dolly the sheep was back in the day, and it's a sad thing, but
She didn't live very long though.
yeah, well, I mean, it's a step.
It's a step, yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure, revolutionary. But yeah, I have to go with Pokemon because, I mean, it was bigger than Dolly the sheep, and it's just a reflection of society, But yeah, it was.
Pokemon gets a vote. Josh, is it Pokemon? Or sorry, Missy. Blah, 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 blah. Rewind. I'm getting there eventually. Bubbles. Is it Dolly the sheep or Pokemon? I'm looking at the wrong board.
Okay, so again, dating myself and my trashy self. So when my brother and I were like 5 and 6, we would watch morning cartoons, and depending on which cartoon came on, told us like when we needed to walk out the door and walk to the bus stop, right? I remember when Pokemon was the new show that came on because I thought that I missed the bus because I didn't recognize what was on TV. However, Pokemon was so big, and it's still so big.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Pokemon on this one. Sorry, Dolly.
I know. I'm so sorry, Dolly. Sorry, science.
Pokemon gets a vote. Josh, finish this one out.
I had to use context clues to find out what Dolly the sheep was. That's the first cloned sheep. I get it. I had to use context clues. I didn't know her by first name. I gave zero shits.
Listen, but they also did cloning in Pokemon. Okay, so let's throw that out there. Pokemon
there was cloning in Pokemon.
But,
Mewtwo, yes.
I mean, huge part of history there that I just don't give a shit about. Look, and yeah, you like cloning is huge, but yeah, Pokemon. I wasn't even a Pokemon kid, but I was into Pokemon Go, and all of our kids collect Pokemon cards. I get them graded, all sorts of different things. So I'm going with Pokemon.
Pokemon gets to vote and the win off of that one in a sweep.
Like sheep. Ironically.
I have a friend of mine who misquotes song lyrics all the time on purpose, and his favorite one is the entire "Dirty Deeds Done with Sheep." Dirty Deeds done
I
with
used to think
sheep.
that said Thunder Chief.
Damn ducks. We'll be right back right after this break. All right. Bubbles probably doesn't have any ads for it. She's the only other bastard. But Bubbles and I and Kate will be doing a show coming up later on this month. Actually, we'll be going on next month, but we're recording it this month. We are doing the recasting call, which is another show that I do where we take old movies and recast them with some new favorites. This month, Bubbles and I and Kate are recasting the 1999 movie She's All That. That will be coming out in September. Currently on the recasting call, and already released as of a couple days ago. We did with Harvey and Kate and myself recasted the movie Major League 1989, I believe. So that is out now.
Wow.
Yeah. Bubbles is off screen and she's voting first.
She can hear you. She's in here. She's just getting dinner in the oven.
Welcome back to the second half of round one. It looks like Bubbles starts this off. Bubbles! It is either... I heard an echo. Bubbles, it is either Polly Pockets or Pool Noodles.
Fuck the pool noodles. We're going Polly Pockets. I remember collecting those, and you know what? I'm just gonna throw this out there. At Papa Bubbles' house, he still has like my whole collection over there. So eventually, I'm gonna get them, but for now, they're safe.
Papa Bubbles got the Polly Pockets. Josh, is it Polly Pockets or Pool Noodles?
Now, Polly Pockets, there was also a boys version of that, and I don't remember what it was called, like Max or something like that. Like, there was a little guy. You looked almost like the Burger King character.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I didn't have either one of those, so I could give a shit less about those. Pool noodles were my existence because they were cheap, and we could go to the pool all the time for $2.50. So that's where I was at, was pool noodles. So I'm going pool noodles.
For those who don't know, I work I work for a retail chain, and I saw a bin of pool noodles. They cost 50 cents a piece today. I was so mad because like I don't have a pool and I don't get to go to the pool very, very often. I'm like, there's so many things that you could do with pool noodles nowadays as an adult. It's like fun.
Yeah.
It is a tie-breaking decision coming down to Missy. Missy, we have a special rule on this one.
Yeah.
When it's a tie-breaking decision, the person with the tie-breaking decision, if we know who is facing in the next round, has the option of knowing who is facing in round two. You can use this option, or you can choose not to use this option. Do you want to know what is facing in round two?
Yes.
Yes. It will either be Polly Pockets with 1 vote or Pool Noodles with 1 vote. We'll be facing the 2-1 winner, Troll Dolls.
Okay. Yes. So
So whoever this one wins, so if it's Pool Noodles, in the next round it'll either be Pool Noodles facing the Troll Dolls, or it'll be Polly Pockets facing the Troll Dolls.
So do I choose something right now?
Well, now you pick out the Pool Noodles or Polly Pockets.
Polly Pocket.
Okay, but I say Troll Dolls is not an option right now. It's still between Polly Pockets and Pool Noodles.
Yep,
but whoever wins this will face next round Troll Dolls. You're just allowed to know that information, which a majority of the times you don't have that. Particular. So anyway, your vote would be
Polly Pocket.
Polly Pockets gets a vote and the win off of that one.
Polly Pockets will be facing Troll Dolls.
Yeah, they will. And you know what? Fuck you, because Polly Pockets will win.
No way.
I love Polly Pockets. I think they are so freaking cute.
No, but Troll Dolls are way cuter and way better. And
it's a matchup. It's a matchup of the 90s. Let's just say that one. Josh starts us off on this one, and he has. Is it American Girl Dolls or the VHS?
Fucking VHS. So American Girl Dolls, that was that series of like the collectible dolls that.
The really, really high price things that you can special order to make look like you.
And I like collectible things, but VHS was such a nuisance. It's such a all my favorite spots were worn out. But
you do any cleaning? No.
Oh no, I cleaned up afterwards. But
buying stock in Tissue Brand.
Oh no, I have my cum towel is a breast cancer awareness towel, so which reminds me what they're for. Ironically, I masturbate to a lot of breastfeeding videos. Um,
Stop it.
okay, let's cut to VHS. I'll go with VHS.
VHS gets a vote. Missy, is it VHS or American Girl Dolls?
VHS for sure, because like, come on, like they were revolutionary as well. I'm like into like with Titanic on the double VHS, and I mean I had a pirate copy of Lord of the Rings, and it was a VHS, and this was when DVD was around, so it was still massive. Even when DVDs came out, people still had VHS. You could still go to the video shop and get, we got called it Blockbuster, but we didn't have it. I was in the country, but we had something called Video Easy. Yeah.
Just because I want to hear her say it one more time. What did you vote for?
VHS.
Yes, I love that.
What, the way I say it?
No,
Your
I love
accent
the
is-
way it's said.
Yeah, so I mean, like VHS.
Yeah.
We just
To make
called
you
them videos, though. They were videos to us. We called them videos. So we're going to go and rent a video.
Oh yeah.
we just call them tapes. I mean, that's what we do. We just call them tapes.
Yep.
Videotapes, I think, is what we have.
Videotapes, movies. Like at the time, it was just, let's go rent a movie, or like we wouldn't even. Doesn't matter what it's on, we're gonna watch it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and just to make you feel better, Missy, we don't have Blockbusters anymore either. The only Blockbuster in the United States anymore, I believe, is either in Oregon or Washington or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
a specialty store where you can like rent out the place and actually stay the night type thing.
So
So,
nice. But we didn't
it's
have
sad.
even when Blockbuster was big, because I lived in a small country town, we didn't have a Blockbuster. We had two video shops. One chain was called Video Easy, and the other one, was like some video, something with like, how in the 90s they had all like numbers or names or something weird, like Video 800 or something, or I don't know. It's like that.
We had Blockbuster and Family Video, I think.
Oh, there you go.
So we had Major Video. We had
Blockbuster.
we had Blockbuster, but like we had like Family Video, Major Video. We had a whole bunch of like small time, but then Blockbuster just wiped them out.
So just kind of depending on which direction I went, whether I went north or whether I went south. So if I went south, I was coming here into Nevada, and we had Blockbuster here in Nevada. But going north, because I was in the middle of nowhere. There's still not even like a Walmart, a McDonald's, or anything like that out there. Like they've got 2 gas stations, 0 like traffic lights. They have like 5 stop signs. Like it was really small town upbringing.
Yeah, me too.
So if we went an hour north, there was like the Family Video, or I think they had like Hollywood Videos or something like that there too. So it wasn't like super big chain, but we had like one smaller chain north and then the bigger chains.
I'm guessing overnighters probably weren't the most popular in your family, and that you probably ended up getting weeklies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we of course always had a late fee. Never.
Yeah.
Dual VHS copy.
Right.
Well, and then when DVDs became more popular too, then they had the entire Netflix type thing where you could get DVDs by mail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh,
And then-
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember all the commercials for every one of these, for the DVDs, for the Netflix, and all of it. Like I remember, like, oh, no late fees. It was so exciting with Netflix, and I delivered mail. So I used to work for our U.S. Postal Service, and I remember delivering DVDs all the time, and like thinking, like maybe if I just like take these and watch these, but I didn't. I was nice.
And you didn't do a federal offense that you're admitting to on camera right now.
Right. No, but I would be so afraid that somebody would catch me, because I'm like, I would be a terrible criminal. Like,
Yes.
That's what keeps me from drinking drinks or eating food.
VHS gets to vote. Bubbles, is it VHS or American Girl Dolls?
I never actually got into like the American Girl dolls. So VHS is it for me. Like you can keep rewinding it. It doesn't skip because you scratch it. Like
You wore it out.
yeah, you just kept going until you wore it out. But do you know how long it took to wear it out? Like it's a long time.
Apparently not very long.
Apparently not for you. Like damn. Like I don't know.
Well, when you pause it, it's trying to keep going. It wears out that specific spot. You don't know about that.
I don't know about
You
that.
don't.
I
You
don't
know.
VHS moves on in a sweep.
Sweep.
And Josh starts.
Get the cleaning material because we're sweeping it under the rug.
Missy starts this one off. Missy, is it grunge music or the Rachel haircut?
Rachel haircut.
It's really intriguing hearing somebody's opinions from across the world on a lot of these things, because like I don't know what made it over there and what didn't make it over there and when it made it over there and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I remember there's been a recent commercial. We keep coming back in commercials where Rachel was talking about something, and she says like every time you learn something new, you forget something else type thing. And somebody had a Rachel haircut, and she's like, "Oh, that's such a cool haircut," blah blah blah. And this woman's like, "Yeah, you had it back in the '90s," and she's like, "No, I didn't. That's a totally new thing."
Oh my god! Okay.
So even now, like this is 2020 and beyond, they're making light of this thing that happened back in the 90s, and I appreciate it.
I had a Rachel haircut, and I still actually do. And I've always had people comment and say that, like, you know, you remind me of Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, I don't really want to change that. So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I mean, I've been compared to worse people, so
yeah, exactly.
I got compared to Walter White the other day, and I don't know if to take it as a compliment or not.
Bryan Cranston.
I'm like, am I a meth head or a terrible teacher? I don't.
Or a really
Walter White
crazed out dad.
No, he never did it. He didn't get high on his own supply.
No, he just
He was a terrible teacher though.
Wait, was real? Was he? See, I didn't know. Was Walter White a real person?
No, he was
Okay,
from the show Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the show. I just thought, were you being compared to you as a character, or actually being compared to, as Bryan Cranston? But
they went Walter White. It's the look, the goatee look.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is too. And I was completely shaven on that day too. It's a little scruffy right now because I haven't got to shave in a couple days. But
oh yeah, I love that show. It was incredible show.
This would be longer, but I work in food, so I can't grow it more than like half an inch without having to wear a beard net all day. And I don't want to wear a freaking beard net.
Yeah, that's weird.
It drives me nuts. So I have to keep it short.
My boss would never make me do that.
Yeah. Bubbles. Grunge music. Rachel haircut.
I do like grunge music. I do. But I think I like Jennifer Aniston more. So I'm gonna go with the Rachel haircut on this one.
It's for women. Women are always gonna say, you know, the Rachel do, because that's all the girls that they loved. Friends, you know, they had the haircut.
I'd still do it. I thought about it not too long ago, like cutting my hair with the Rachel haircut, but I was like,
But it's a side part, so then you're really out of fashion. That's the problem. Like, you have to have one with a non-side part.
right.
I don't have that problem. I just you can't part my hair. Rachel haircut gets a second vote. Josh, what's your opinion on this matter? Is it the Rachel haircut or grunge music?
Well, I had to use context clues again because I had no clue what the fuck a Rachel haircut was. I said, like, Rachel Ray, context clues again. I'm aware of that now But I was sitting there when he said context clues. I had to sit and listen to Missy. I was like, okay, maybe she knows. And she said the Rachel haircut, and I didn't think there was going to be an explanation. And
Missy,
then when she said, when she said it,
Yeah, we
friends,
know. We
she
know.
said Jennifer Aniston. Then I was like, oh, light bulb. But I mean, Jennifer Aniston, regardless, I'd be like, come as you are, as you were. And I'd go with grunge music. Which doesn't matter because Rachel haircut won.
It does. I agree with you though, Josh. One, Friends is a terrible show.
It's not great, to be honest.
Friends is a terrible show. You make Friends today, it's automatically have to go to Netflix. Because no network is going to touch that.
No.
Period.
It is what it is.
I don't even watch the clips that show up on my TikToks. Like
it's on TV here all the time, though. All the time.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, I'll stick with those over that.
Yeah.
2-1 haircut moves on to the next round. Bubbles starts this one off. Bubbles, is it Princess Diana's death or from the movie Clueless, As If? And I'm not going to do the accent on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Princess Diana's death was so sad. Like,
yes,
such a beautiful human. I have taken time to kind of like look into just different things that she's done. And she really just overall was kind.
Yes.
Which is hard to see sometimes when it comes to like royal families and things like that. But on the other side of that, like, it's Clueless. As if.
Yeah.
I think
there was a Princess Diana Beanie Baby though.
Oh my God, was there?
What?
There was, and it's like the most expensive Beanie Baby.
I bet. I mean, it makes sense, but
wow,
I kind of want one. But As If is going to be my vote.
As If gets a vote. Josh, is it As If or Princess Diana's death?
Princess Diana's death was similar to the O.J. Simpson trial for me. I was in middle school when that happened, and I was like, in my head, I'm sorry, at this time, I was like, who gives a shit? Like,
she was a princess.
I didn't have a princess. I lived in America. We had a president. I was like, I had no clue.
I lived in America.
Everyone was like, Princess died. Like, okay. And then my mom was crying about it. And it happened. We were driving back from Iowa, actually, from Cedar Rapids. And
my condolences, sir.
We're in
you had to go to Cedar Rapids.
And we were driving back. My mom was still crying about it, and she saw a cloud that looked like Princess died. And we're in Utah, and my dad pulled off the road to take a picture of this cloud, and we got stuck in the Utah salt flats, like in a 3/4-ton van, just sunk. So Princess dying was like miserable for me. Like, we're out there for hours trying to find rocks to throw under this tire in the midsummer heat.
Oh,
and it was like,
God.
But I was absolutely done. But As If, it's one of those girly movies that I was actually into as a kid, like crushes and all, super just catchy. I was like, I wanted to be like every character in that movie. And look, Paul Rudd's still going, but that's irrelevant. We're talking about the phrase "as if." Ugh, as if. Absolutely, I'll go with As If.
Gets a vote. Missy, finish one out.
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I am not a monarchist, but in Australia, because we are part of the Commonwealth, that is pretty much, it was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Her death was huge. It was part of the monarch. It was it was Prince Charles's, she was Prince Charles's wife. Like, she was part of the monarchy. So yeah, Princess Diana's death rocked Australia hugely, and it was a massive thing. And also, like, I agree, like, I'm not a monarchist, but she was the exception to the rule. She was an incredible woman, and she did incredible things for people, like, for the stigma for AIDS especially, and for she walks through a minefield. Like she was an incredible person, a very altruistic person. So yeah, that's my vote. Princess Diana's death.
I personally think Princess Diana's death would have gotten my vote off of this one, just for the simple fact that it blew up. No pun intended, considering how she died. It blew up over here, not only because of her death, but the entire conspiracies and stuff going behind it.
Mm.
And it was the first conspiracy that I remember as a kid.
SUS, we do like our conspiracies over here.
Yeah,
you like do. Sure do.
That's the first one. That's the first one that I remember about how, like, the entire paparazzi was not a real paparazzi. He was there to actually cause the accident, which is the reason why it was in the tunnel, because there's no cameras and a whole bunch of other stuff. Even though the paparazzi had a camera on him, type thing, and nothing really happened to the paparazzi anyway. And yeah, whole bunch of stuff. And it's still it was a saddening day, but I remember it more for the storyline that it was trying to put off, or people were trying to put onto it, rather than what the tragedy that actually happened to it. And I apologize for that, but what it is, as this moves on 2-1 to the next round, Josh starts us off. I'm going to give you a couple letters on this one. Is it TRL or Y2K?
Year 2000. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, just because TRL, Total Request Live, was absolutely on my viewing when we could finally afford cable. But we didn't have it long. And then Y2K was way overblown. A lot of anticipation for nothing. So TRL.
TRL gets a vote. Missy.
I don't know what TRL is. What is it?
It was a music video request, so on MTV. They would do this.
Okay, we don't have MTV.
The most requested video.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Y2K because it was massive. And yeah, TRL does not register. We don't have MTV or anything like that over here. So yeah, Y2K. I had little bugs. They had little Y2K bugs that you could buy. It was a huge thing, and the preparation and all this panic and stuff with the computers, and
generators being sold.
Yes.
And see, that's one of the things I was talking about as far as having somebody outside the U.S. on today's show, is because I don't think TRL would have gone as far as the entire Y2K would have, because I think Y2K was the entire worldwide panic issue for a lot of people, rather than TRL was for people who had cable.
So TRL, what was it? Can someone just
what TRL is? It stands for the words Total Request Live.
Right.
It was a radio show that was on TV that you could people could call into, supposedly. And of course, then again, I've never known a single person that could ever actually get through to anything on it.
Right.
It was always apparently super busy and whatnot. So, but they would count down either the days or the weeks, the top songs of the day. And it was always there, when you got home from school, and it was.
So what were they requesting? They wanted
music videos. So Eminem's music video.
Please play it again, kind of. Yeah.
Sync, whichever one would they do the top 5 or top 10. It started getting narrower and narrower, and then they stopped playing the whole video altogether. They started playing clips of the video to get through it, as music TV became less music.
But they would also have live interviews with musicians and actors and a whole bunch of other famous people that would show up on the show.
Had a version of that, but it's as big as Y2K, no.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Y2K was much bigger. It's a tie-breaking decision, though, coming down to Bubbles. Bubbles, Is it Y2K or TRL?
Now we all know how much I like to be tied up, but I didn't really watch TRL growing up or anything. Y2K, I remember going to California to my aunt's house, and we went to a party, and that was the first time that my parents just allowed me to drink like a glass of champagne. So of course that was like, oh, so exciting. I mean, I was still pretty young. But I very like clearly remember all of it. I remember like people saying like all of the computer things are going to crash and things like that. And it didn't make sense. It still does not make sense to me as to why that was like a thought, because all of a sudden at midnight, like why would it?
They patched the bug.
They just patched it, I guess.
It was about the computers that I think they had like maybe some models or something that that actually didn't know what the date was, and so then like all of the information would be erased.
They're going off the last 2 digits, so it's 00. So banks and things like that had that in their file, they thought it was going to reset the entire thing and everybody lose their money, their investments, and it was a huge thing. They thought power grids were going to shut off, and it was a big deal. But then they passed the bug, like nothing happened. Like,
nothing happened, but they
a bunch of generators were sold.
A lot of
a bunch of generators,
except for drinking children and nice parties, I guess.
Yeah, they built something in place to make sure that it didn't happen, but then it turns out that the systems that they didn't do it, like their control models, nothing happened. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But Y2K is going to go ahead and get my vote on this one.
One of my favorite parts on that one is the simple fact that when you bought like a personal computer, like a desk computer at the point, it had a sticker on it that said to make sure to shut off your computer on New Year's Eve of '99.
Yeah.
So even the people at like Office Mask and shit that were selling these computers believed this entire thing too. So, which I mean, as a kid, I didn't really understand it. I understand why they thought it now, but it's just still doesn't make a lot of sense. Missy starts this one off. Let's say Y2K moves on 2-1, but Missy starts this one off. Is it, speaking of computers, is it the internet or run, Forrest, run?
Oh, I mean, it's the internet. Like the internet, we're using it right now. It's the most incredible thing that's ever happened to humanity. Like the reason that I'm able to talk to you guys, this is how I learned about America, just not from TV shows, you know, like we're fed so much information through television shows, but it was such propagandist kind of content. And then to actually see what America was like and by talking to people from America, like you're from America, and then like talking to them, like, you know, on the internet was incredible. So the internet gets my vote.
Yeah, we're not all gun-toting assholes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying by the way, I'm not saying that people who tote guns are assholes, because I know a lot of people who are gun-toting people. But as far as the media goes, we all have a gun. We're all jerks that like to just do stupid shit. No, that's only like half the population.
Just
all right?
Even anyone having a gun is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing. I can't get my head around how anyone could have a gun.
I live in a very red state, and it's still really rare to see somebody who is not in uniform, like in a police uniform, to see somebody carrying. Like an open, we live in an open carry.
Carrying, but have a gun, as in like have a gun in their house.
And even that, there's a lot of houses that you'll go into not even know. But the town I live in, 9 out of 10 houses are unlocked. There's nobody home.
Okay.
That's just because because you never know who has a gun, and if you walk into the wrong house.
That's crazy. If we walk into the wrong house, we wouldn't get shot. The police would. Well, yeah. I like the idea that my neighbors don't have a gun and they don't have the possibility of having a gun, and that the chances of them having a gun is like literally like, unless they were like a criminal and they had like obtained like one from the black market. I like that idea.
I would personally trust my neighbors more with a gun than a baseball bat, because I don't think my neighbors would.
This.
I think my neighbors don't know how to use a gun anyway. So, but everybody knows how to use a baseball bat. So when it comes to as far as gun violence and everything like that, I think it comes down to the person themselves. And I've
never had to think about whether a baseball bat would be easier to be bashed with than a gun. It's so foreign to me. I can't even, it's hard to logic. Doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't seem like logic.
Either way.
I think that's the most wild thing too. So because it's something that we have always had here in America, like I've shot guns. I don't personally have my own gun. I don't feel that I need my own gun or anything like that. But like I said, I know how to use one. I know the safety on it. I know all of that around it, but I don't personally feel that I need one, like because we're an open carry as well, right?
Nevada is an open carry, yeah.
Yeah, so we're an open carry too, but again, like I have like my own little tasers and things like that, because I do deliveries and things like that, so I do kind of go in some sketchy areas sometimes. But
wild to me.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and again, it's so where it's foreign to you, like as far as like us having guns like all over the place everywhere, people like having the accessibility to the guns, like it's one of those, like seeing your outlook on it, not having guns, like it definitely, I can see where it makes sense for you to not have guns, and then being in a place where we've always had the option of it. And we're in an open carry state here. Like if I were to see one, like I'm not afraid of it, like watching somebody walk down the street with it. However, I would be afraid of it if it's pointed at me, because I'm like, oh, well, that's not safe. I'm like, that's not safe. But if it's
I don't think I'd be afraid. I'd just be like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like I've only ever seen a gun on the hip of a police officer, or like on a rifle in the hands of like, a military person. And like my partner's ex-military, he was in the Air Force, and he has held a gun, but I don't even know what they look like beyond pictures and stuff. But we're not allowed to show pictures of them. Like, it's it's not in our popular culture at all. If it's in American culture, we know that. But yeah, like it's hard to find toy guns now as well. Like,
it's getting more and more difficult to find toy guns now out here too.
We have like Nerf guns. We have like airsoft guns.
Yeah, they're not called guns though. They're called like shoot. No, they're not called shoot. I forget. Like I don't know what they call them, but I saw it the other day. They're not called Nerf guns.
That's this is so cool. I think this, and again, so I'm with Missy on this as far as like my vote. My vote is also going to be going towards the internet for this reason, because I feel like it is so amazing to connect to so many different cultures all over. And, because growing up without the internet, going into dial-up internet, and then going into DSL and Wi-Fi and things like that, and watching that happen, I think was super awesome. But I think that one of the greatest things that we have created was the internet to expand our knowledge of just the world that we live in.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The internet's incredible.
The internet gets a second vote.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The internet gets a second vote. Josh, finish us out.
My vote is guns. No, that was was internet or internet?
No, internet or run, Forrest, run.
Okay, internet.
Sorry, you guys.
No, all right. I loved this dialect. It was great. Like, it's so great. I went from internet. I literally forgot what we were voting on. I was sitting there, I was like, wait a second, what are we voting guns again? Like, guns are way before the 90s, you know, like, and then, but I was sitting there in my thoughts, I was sitting there like, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like there's a lot of countries that it's difficult to have access to guns. And, yeah, I didn't have one as a kid growing up. Like, my parents didn't have any, but I had some. I have 3. So I'm like, okay. But again, the last time I touched one of my guns was years ago. So it's like they're there, but they're useless because they're not even prepared if I do have an intruder. So it's like, why do I have them? Like, yeah, I guess for just recreational activity, I guess. Hey, like it does.
I think one of the problems that America does have, speaking of American, and I have no problem with people owning, using, being trained with guns and everything else. And I personally think that training should be a lot more available to people, to them. What America has a problem with is that it doesn't teach people about guns. It glorifies what guns are.
I mean, hell, I did. I literally got them for like recreation. We'd go for a while. I was going out with friends and we'd do target practice, things like that. But I mean, like, as far as like self-defense goes, in most scenarios, if someone were to break into your house, you don't have your gun readily available.
Nope.
You know, if you have to go get to it, that person who broke into your home with a gun has their gun ready to use. You know how difficult it is to wake me up? Now, if you have a gun and you're prepared to use it, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, give me a second. Let me get my gun so we can make this fair. You know, like, but I think the best way, have you ever seen those Cyanide and Happiness shorts?
Yes.
Okay. There's these little cartoons. They're called Cyanide and Happiness.
Yeah,
I depiction of it is this guy. He's all gung-ho about guns. And, like, he hears somebody break in. And he's like, oh, it's my moment. So he gets up and he gets all of his guns ready. He's loading up, and it's like an action sequence. He throws on the holster, gets his rocket gun out, gets all these things like double guns, double American Eagles, you know, and RPG and sights and all that stuff. He's loading up, putting silencers on. And he goes downstairs, and his guns are all wiped out. They stole all the guns from downstairs by the time he even got his other guns. And he's like, they stole all my guns. It's like all he was left with was his guns but it was
just I don't understand it. Anyway.
Well, and see, that's my entire point in this situation is that you have movies like John Wick and Deadpool and Rambo and a whole bunch of other stuff that glorifies weaponry, but there's a difference between having a gun and knowing how to use it. And I think if the people who grew up with guns, as far as people who grew up hunting and stuff like that, they know how to use it and they have a healthy respect for it.
Yeah, I mean, people do have rifles here, but the regulations to keep one is crazy, and the safe can't be moved or anything, and like it has to be bolted to the ground and everything, and you can only have certain ones. So the guns are used for hunting, especially for shooting kangaroos on farms and things like that, and for like recreational shooting, like essential shooting of like culling kangaroos and stuff like that, and eating kangaroos, like because we eat kangaroos.
Well, which I've had kangaroo meat before. It's fucking fantastic. But in Australia, especially, like, dude, I would carry as much as I can because, like, I've seen some of the spiders alone. Like, fucking spiders alone. I'm gonna be trigger happy when I see some of those.
You guys have mountain lions. We don't have mountain lions.
We don't see mountain lions very often.
They're timid and afraid.
They really are. They avoid
irrational fear, though. The huge irrational fear for me was mountain lions. And I live in a city, and I'm afraid. Well, we have mountains here, but we're still in the city. But there was like a mountain lion a week prior that had come down into the city, and it was like they trapped it in like apartments.
We don't have that.
I was terrified to take out the trash
Look
We
at
don't
this way.
have mountain lions and bears. I mean, we do have small creatures, but they are so easy to avoid.
In the U.S., you are like, you know how people are deathly afraid of sharks. There's an entire Shark Week every year dedicated to sharks. All right.
Yep.
Yes, I know.
More people die from cows, like
Yeah.
multiples, like
Yeah.
not only like twice as many or whatever. This is like 100 times people die from cows than they do from sharks every year.
Yeah.
But nobody gives a shit about cows.
Nope.
No. And hippos. Hippos are really dangerous too.
Oh, hippos are violent as fuck.
Yeah.
Like they're territorial and just. I was like,
there
but
are
then
some
again,
very, very, very dangerous herbivores for sure.
Moose
but
are also so dangerously adorable, but I want one so bad.
Oh, moose.
Koala bears are worse.
No, koalas. Don't call them bears. They're koalas.
Sorry, koalas.
They're marsupials.
Whatever.
Kangaroos are pretty deadly, but they're not. The kangaroo's not going to stalk you and jump on top of you or something like that. They're going to give you a lot of warning.
Yeah, that damn mountain lion. There's a few mountain lion videos where the guy, he's backing away from the mountain lion for like 13 minutes. It's stalking him, and he's like trying to scare it off. Oh, that was my irrational fear that I had. Like, I was like, that's why I was terrified of mountain lions.
If you're ever faced with a
internet,
kangaroo,
you see these things.
if you're ever faced with a kangaroo, you just get down low, bow your head, and cough, and then they know you're not the alpha or you're not trying to contest to them. That's it. And then
I would avoid them at just period. Like
the kangaroos.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes when you're in the bush, they just appear and like you just run into them.
I'd be an ignorant American and I'd want to play with one.
I mean, the females are really cute and like, but they're they're not all of them are timid, but yeah, like if you run into a male kangaroo, you're in a bit of trouble.
I would love to spend time like with some kangaroos. I would absolutely love to do that. Just to, well, you guys, because you guys have like the whole like the big zoo.
We have lots of wildlife parks where you can go and pat kangaroos. There's a place about 40 minutes from me. Like they're everywhere, and you can go and it's a petting zoo.
I would like it to be like a farm, like with cows and stuff, where you just like walk into a pasture.
The same thing. Like you can go and pet goats and pat kangaroos and take selfies with kangaroos.
So are you legally allowed to have a kangaroo as a pet?
No, they're a native animal.
Well, we have animals over here too. Like you're not. It's frowned upon to have like a mountain lion as a pet, but people do.
Yeah.
They do.
I'm pretty sure you have to have a lot of documentation, even for that, a native animal, like, especially like, a mountain lion, obviously. But yeah, like in Australia, you can't have Australian animals as pets. Although there is one behind me that is a native Australian. I have a turtle. There are certain animals you can, but you have to have a license in most states and you have to buy them from, a breeder or whatever. Like, so yeah, you can't have a kangaroo as a pet. Anyone who does have it has all this documentation and has been, that they've gone through like a rigorous process of like making sure that the animal is taken care of and that they can never be released. So yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so Josh finished that one out, which means Missy started that entire thing.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It was a really cool
good dialect.
Like I said, just like looking at the different cultures across the world, I think it's freaking amazing.
I was just waiting for you to come back there, Bubbles.
And in the future, okay, I'm here. I'm just making dinner. Missy's living in the future over there. It's already Sunday while we're over past.
Yeah, it's midday.
Sunday morning coming down.
But I am ready for the next matchup.
All right.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Moving on, the internet moves on 3-0, which means it is sweep of doubles returns. But Bubbles starts us off on this one. Bubbles, is it? We have some toys.
Ooh, I like toys.
We have some toys. Is it Pogs, Pogs, or GAK, GAK?
I didn't really do much with the GAC, but fucking Pogs, man. Pogs were the shit. Like, I remember sitting there with our I don't even remember.
Slammers?
The slammers. Yeah, so you just fucking, I remember getting hit in the knuckles with that shit. That was not a good time. But stealing those other people's Pogs, absolutely. That's my vote.
Okay.
Pog gets a vote. Josh?
Okay, so Missy, if you're not sure what Pogs are, I think in Australia they're called milk caps.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
Okay.
I thought
What
you were
they
going to
did
say
is underneath the milk
Tarzos
caps, they had pictures like of cartoons or.
we called them Tarzos, I think.
Okay, but so what we'd do is we'd play a game with them, and there were these little discs, and you lay them face down, and if you flipped them, you got to either if you face somebody, you could play somebody for them. You got to keep theirs if you won. You know, you'd flip a coin to see who goes first, and trying to flip them with a plastic or metal disc that flipped the little cardboard ones. But Pogs were my currency. I think that's what got me into being a kleptomaniac as a child. And I can't tell you how many times I stole these items that carried no value.
Nope.
But they held so much value in my heart. Yeah. Like I would take these things. I got caught stealing them. I would shove them down the front of my pants, and shove them in my pockets. So, and yeah, it was a big problem. And stores started putting them behind locked glass and things like that here. Oh, kids were stealing them left and right. Like they were, and schools banned them because it was gambling. Like we were using them as a form of gambling, and we're using them as currency. And then it was like they were so overproduced that they held no value whatsoever, but they hold a special place in my heart.
Pogs, by the way, are a Hawaiian invention.
Oh, okay.
Pogs, Pogs, is a pomegranate orange guava or something like that. It's a juice, which is where the entire milk cap situation came in because it was the same thing. A game promoter was over there and just happened to see some kids playing with it, and then they brought it over to the US, and it just happened to catch on. And the only problem is that the person who invented this game, because she gave it to her kids, didn't live. She lived just long enough for her to see it become popular in the US, but never made a dime off of it.
Oh, that's
because US capitalism sucks.
Oh.
So I give them that. However, Pogs are absolutely fantastic. We used a silver dollar for a slammer. Back in the day, not silver dollar, one of those half.
Yeah, or
half dollar things because they're fucking huge.
Or if you couldn't afford a slammer or a 50-cent piece or whatever, you just use the other Pogs. We'd go Pog on Pog. If they said no slammers, and you create your own arbitrary rules. Yeah,
it's great.
Okay,
anyway, Missy, finish this out. Is it Pogs or GAK?
I mean, I really don't know what Pogs are. I've heard about them. I don't think we actually had them, or it was a very big thing over here. We had Tarzos that came in chip packets, but you don't know crisps. I don't know what do you guys call them? Like packets of crisps?
It's chips over here, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we had chips.
We
had them in chip packets.
Because if I remember right, chips is
fries
as well.
Yeah, chips is fries.
Chips as well.
And crisps are chips.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we didn't have Pogs. I mean,
maybe we did. Maybe it was just because just my age or whatever. But GAC was definitely a thing, and it was really big at school, and everyone had GAC. And the pretend farting thing that everyone did with the GAC in the, GAC is cemented in my memory, like the smell of the boric acid, like, yeah, GAC all the way.
With that, Pog moves on 2-1 to the next round. Josh starts off, finishing off round one. Is it the Walkman, the tape version of the Walkman?
Yep.
Or Toys R Us?
I'm gonna go Walkman, just because I was more into music. But like my family didn't take us to Toys R Us. We went cheap. My mom worked for JCPenney outlet, and so any toys we got were from there. Toys R Us wasn't even a special treat for us. They were overpriced, and we were like, nope. So Walkman.
Walkman gets a vote. Missy?
Walkman. Because, I mean, like, what was the other one? The other one didn't even register in my brain.
Toys R Us. It's a...
Toys R Us. Oh, yeah. Toys R Us didn't really take off in quite the way that it did in America, I think. I mean, it was a thing, but yeah, like Walkman, because that was massive. Like everybody had a Walkman. I had a Walkman. Everybody had one. They had a big clip. You put your tapes in and your headphones on. Massive.
Walkman gets a vote. Bubbles, finish this out.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. However, I'm not a Toys R Us kid because, as I have previously stated, like I am like trashy. So that was way too fancy for us. Mm-hmm. We did Walmart. We even did Target. Okay, which I feel is fancy now.
Target.
We have Target. Still going. It's just a closed shop or closed toys. Everything. Yeah.
I do love Target. What was the other option? What was it?
Walkman.
Walkman, yeah. So I had Walkmans all the time, and I just happened to be super lucky. So with our because I lived on a military base, or like right outside a military base, so we had this like equivalent to the Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. And they would do like contests and raffles all the time, and I won that shit all the time. I don't know how I did it, but I did. So I won Walkmans all the time, and then like I would let my brother borrow them, and he would break them, but it was fine because I would just win another one in like a month. So Walkman's my vote.
We are talking about the things with you open up and put a tape in, like portable tape player.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, you broke them? Like, I had one, and it was like sacred to me.
Yeah, well,
mine were
when you win it. I say when you win one like 3 times in a row, you start just like, well, shit. Now I have like, if I break this one, I have 2 more to whatever. So that finishes out round 1. Walkman moves on, places another 3-0 in the next round. Be right back right after this break. Private chat says Missy has to go pretty soon, so we're going to switch stuff around real quick. Missy, we're going to do
guys.
That's all right.
I think my daughter's got to have a nap, and yeah,
it happens. We're going to do guest ads as soon as, well, Bubbles isn't going to have anything. We're going to do guest ads real quick, and then we have a thank you to review before you go. So, Josh, you haven't been here for a while. What you been doing?
I've been doing some stand-up comedy, getting new material, and working.
Did I happen to see a clip out there where Bubbles was doing some stand-up comedy?
Yep, I got that. And she piggybacked off of, well, it was a true story that we had occurred. And then I went up and I did my set, and she piggybacked off my set and did her version of the set. Like it just translated so well. So yeah, I had to throw it up there.
And first time guest on the show, hopefully coming back after this one, Missy. What do you do?
I am an ex-phone sex girl. So I used to do phone sex here in Australia, and I just wrote a book about it. And it's funny, and it has all of it, like every single story is sort of like a play-by-play of exactly what would happen in each of these calls. And so it's very funny, and it's written in the way that, you know, what I said and what I remember, and then what the person said, because I have an extraordinary long-term memory. So I have some very interesting stories that in that book, and yeah, to say the least. There's some very strange men in Australia, but it's not like, there's also, you know, this is what happens with phone sex work. It comes with the job. You deal with a lot of strange people with strange fetishes.
Is this book out now?
Yes, it's on Amazon KDP, and you can purchase it for $2.99 US, I believe.
Oh, Missy,
That's not bad at all.
that you're the voice for the audio book, because let me tell you, your voice makes sense as a phone sex operator. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, if there was going to be an audio book, I probably would be the voice, but it would be having to find 20 different men, or at least a couple of men who were able to voice and be comfortable playing the role of, say, somebody who likes to eat tampons. Like,
If you, first of all, the amount of people that we've had across this show that have just fucked up shit in the past, I could probably find you half of those people just off of the top of my head. I would volunteer, to be perfectly honest, to do one of those, but I can't do an Australian accent. I could, but the Aussie people would kill me.
Accent. It's got to stay authentic. I can't have, and that's the problem. Like, I think a lot of people say, "Oh, your voice, like maybe they liked it because it was Australian." I was like, well, they were all Australian too, so it's not my exotic accent, but I know that that's definitely an appeal.
No, and I tell you right now, I have a thing for accents. Major turn on for me. The Australian accent isn't my number one, but it's definitely in the top 3. It's British, Australian, and then the Irish accent after that one. But those are very, very close, and it just kind of depends on the person.
Jamaican? Oh my God, yes.
Rhea Ripley right now, and I'm missing SummerSlam for this one, but Rhea Ripley has one of the sexiest accents that I've ever heard of.
Oh, that's an Irish accent, yes.
Yeah. So I think she's from Adelaide as well, actually. So.
Oh wait, are they doing an Irish accent or an Australian?
Rhea Ripley's Australian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember what her actual name is. Her stage name is Rhea Ripley, but she's a professional wrestler.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but I'm guessing, like obviously she's got the Australian accent, then yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but so I can see how you would make bank with American males, definitely. Just
when I was in that 12, 13-year-old age range, I drove my parents' phone bill so high.
Oh, yeah, there was that. There was definitely that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My mom found a $600 phone bill, and that's why we couldn't afford cable too. Yeah.
All right. We have a thank you to review. Bubbles, you want to come in for this one?
Yeah, I'm coming.
That's always good to hear.
Hold on, just a few seconds.
All right, I will go ahead and do the intro while you're doing this. Before we became a podcaster, I never thought all these requests for 5-star reviews actually really mattered. Well, apparently I was wrong. But being the bastards that we are, we're not just going to ask you to spend your 5 seconds or so to send us a 5-star review with really nothing to return for it, because we're bastards, but we're not assholes. So what we're going to do is we're going to trade you for it. You send us a screenshot of your 5-star review along with the letter or so on and so forth on what you decided to say. And a matchup that you want us to vote on. We're not only going to shout you out on the show, but we'll do the matchup as well. And today we have a 5-star review, or as I call it, a thank you to review. And this one's a shout out to Bubbles. Hey guys, your show is really stupid. And I love it. A few notes though. Freddie and Harvey were right last week. Bubbles is great. Although she's too old for me. Most of this is old. Can you move on to recent topics? This is all done in notes, by the way. The entire 5-star review thing is great, and I thank you for picking mine if you do. I ran this by my mom. She says it's too long, and yes, that's what she said almost got me grounded. I love the long episodes. It gives me something to listen to on the bus. My friends and I listen there because the school Wi-Fi blocks it. For everybody out there wondering about this, we are considered an explicit podcast when I listed on Spotify, stuff like that. That's the reason why. That's all signed Jason Samward. W-A-R-D. Samward. In Texas, age 9. So Bubbles, you have a 9-year-old wanting to get with you. Anyway, since Texas age 9, I figured that might be important. My matchup, if you can, my sister and I don't agree on this one, so I'm going to ask you: better Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield? With that reaction, Bubbles, I'm going to start with you.
What? Am I allowed to use my blow-a-load on this round?
No.
Oh my gosh, because like Tobey Maguire was my Spider-Man. Like that was like the OG Spider-Man for me. I was there.
Yes.
When he was born. But I absolutely adore Tom Holland. Like Tom Holland is the little brother for all of us. Andrew, he's just adorable. I just want to give him a nice little hug and just give him some loves and just sit with him for a little bit. My vote, you know what? I'm going to go with Tom Holland because I just think he's absolutely just the cutest little thing since Tamagotchis.
Tom Holland gets a nod. Josh.
I'm going to go with Tom Holland too. I think Tobey Maguire. I didn't like Tobey Maguire as the original choice at
I don't
first.
know why I said Andrew.
Andrew Garfield was.
I did. Never mind.
I think Andrew Garfield fits more the cartoon version of it, but I like the rendition of Tom Holland.
Gets another one. Missy.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like I had a crush on him, and there was a lot of like I liked all the sciencey kind of stuff, like a genetically modified spider, like super spider, and all that. So I loved Spider-Man. That was one of my favorite movies.
Tobey Maguire gets that particular one. We can all agree that Andrew Garfield is a definite third in this one. Mm-hmm. It's always been between Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire for me, but unfortunately, there's a difference between it's the entire Batman scenario where there's people who play a really good Bruce Wayne but don't play Batman very well, and there's people who play Batman very well but don't play a Bruce Wayne very well. I don't think Andrew Garfield plays either Spider-Man or Peter Parker very well. I just don't. I'm not a fan of the movies, and the villains that he had in those movies aren't really the best villains either. So he was kind of screwed from the jump. Tom Holland lucked out because Tom Holland not only had he plays Peter Parker very well. I don't think he plays a very good Spider-Man, but he plays Peter Parker very, very well. Yes, but he lucked out because he had really good villains to go with the entire thing.
And he had the start in the Avengers movie, which was already spectacular to start with.
Yeah, so he had a better start.
Well, that's what ruined Tobey Maguire for me, was he had Venom, like the ultimate villain for me, and they ruined that film. I think that spoiled Tobey Maguire for me.
That third film was terrible. It just was for Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire has my respect, but as far as the Ultimate Spider-Man goes, I'm going to go with Tom Holland, especially because the person who played Miles Morales isn't on this list in Across the Spider-Verse. And if you want to add anybody to this, Nicolas Cage, who is going to be playing, I can't wait to watch this movie, going to be playing the 1920s version. So the entire Spider Noir version of Spider-Man coming up. And I'm totally looking forward to that one. But I think between the three votes we have here, it's going to be Tom Holland. Jason, I don't know which one you didn't list, which one you were going for on this one. But if your sister chose Tom Holland and you didn't, I guess we're agreeing with her. Kind of happens. All right. Missy, how long do we have you for?
Probably about another maybe 15 minutes at the most.
Okay. Try to get through round 2, then have you split on that one?
Yeah.
Sound good?
So,
All
yeah.
right. Welcome back for round 2. It looks like Missy starts us off on this one. Missy, is it Troll Dolls or Polly Pocket?
Troll Dolls. I mean, come on, Troll Dolls are amazing. I still have them. I still have a whole bag of them, all packed into a little bag. I've got 100 of them. I've got Damn Dolls. I've got Wishnicks, and I've got Russ. And I know the story between what happened with Russ Troll Dolls and how they were sued, and that's why they stopped selling them. That's why you can't buy Russ Troll Dolls anymore. The quintessential trolls that you're talking about, with the pencil topper ones. They're not allowed to sell them anymore because Thomas Dam's family sued Russ. So yeah, I have Russ Troll Dolls.
That bastard.
Yeah.
Bubbles, Troll Dolls, Polly Pocket.
Listen, I like things up the back door just as much as the next troll doll. But it's Polly Pocket for me. They were so tiny. They were just so pocket-sized. And you could just take them anywhere.
So, size does matter for you then?
As long as it's travel-sized.
Josh, finish this out. You are tie-breaking decision. Is it Polly Pocket or Troll Dolls?
Sorry, Bubbles. Troll Dolls it is.
Yay!
You're allowed to be wrong.
Oh, they never wore pants. They did wear pants and they did wear t-shirts and things when you got the bigger ones. Not the pencil toppers, they didn't, but the bigger ones did.
See, all my bigger ones were always naked too, and they had the gems in the belly. Like there were ones with the yellow gem, the pink gem, the different gems, and their gems match their hair.
That was Wishnick trolls. Yeah.
Okay.
Troll Dolls moves on 2-1 to the next round. Bubbles starts us off on this one. Bubbles, is it the Rachel haircut or Beanie Babies?
Oh, it's Beanie Babies all the way.
Beanie Babies gets a vote off of that one. Josh?
Beanie Babies.
Gets another one. Missy, finish us out.
Beanie Babies. Because it was probably bigger than the Rachel haircut.
In a shutout, Beanie Babies moves on 3-0 to the next round. Josh starts us off on this one. Josh, is it Spice Girls or Y2K?
I'm gonna steal somebody's vote. Anyway, let's get Y2K out of here. Let's steal Bubbles' vote. I'm gonna go Spice Girls.
Missy, finish this one out. Is it Spice Girls or Y2K?
Y2K. There's nothing will ever be more iconic than Y2K.
Bubbles. Even though your vote was stolen, was it Spice Girls or Y2K?
It was gonna be Spice Girls.
Oh, I didn't need to.
Aw.
You didn't need to
Oh, well.
piss off, my guy.
Space Girls. Spice Girls moves on to the next round. Josh starts us off. Is it the slip and slide?
He starts us off.
I just stole Bubbles' vote, so I started last time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Missy starts us off.
Okay.
Is it slip and slide or pogs?
Oh, I mean, I don't really know what pogs are, and it wasn't big here, so slip and slide, of course. The fun, the sun, all that.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
I'm just gonna say, fuck us for putting this together. Like, this is some bullshit. Okay, because I agree. I agree with Missy. You got the slip and slide. You got my trashy side where we use the trash bags for a slip and slide.
Yeah, it was easy for me.
We got pogs, man. Like, pogs were the shit. I actually think that Papa Bubbles still has like a tube of our pogs too. He saves all that stuff. Good for you, Papa Bubbles, if you listen to this.
No, I'm pretty sure if Papa Bubbles listened to this, you'd probably have heard about it by now.
Well, he joined in. He did join us, and he did help me with some of my votes that one time. I don't remember. I think we were doing like a Johnny Cash or something like that. He helped vote on something. But I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my lifelines. I'm gonna pass the parcel. Did I say it right, Missy?
Pass the parcel, yeah.
Pass the parcel. Yeah.
Yes, you said it right. Yeah. That was so weird when you hear somebody say it like you get your accent right. That's really weird.
What? Yes.
This is 100% pogs for me. Slip and slides are. What's really funny about this is slip and slides and pogs are the easiest games to just make on your own as poor kids. Realistically.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that pogs were like trademarked, so you could get your own cool shit and stuff like that, and even make them out of cool shit, like just attach it to a piece of cardboard and glue it and everything else, and really piss off your friends because those didn't flip right as normal pogs did. So pogs will be getting my / Bubbles vote on this one, and Josh is tie-breaking decision.
And I'm going to go with the thing that turned me into a criminal. The pogs. They even had an accessory criminalization to them because then I got into stealing valve cap stems, the covers off of bicycle tires, and sticking them in my pod case. So for no reason, because my bicycle didn't even take air. So
you were like that. You were like this kid. I went to a barbecue once, and he stole my the sparkly wiggly tough Pokemon card.
Oh my God.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have done that. I was stealing things that were like useless.
Okay.
I was like so on a bicycle tire where you put the air in the tire, there's a little cap that goes on there, and I would steal the metal ones or the 8-ball ones or something, and I had no use for them because my bicycle tires were solid tubes because we have thorns and goat heads everywhere, and they kept popping my tires, so I had no use for these things, but I would steal them anyways, like just to have them. And growing up, reflecting back on it, is I created a lot of unnecessary trouble for my parents.
Pog moves on 2-1 to the next round.
Actively choose to love this every day.
Bubbles
Yes.
starts us off. Is it? We have the battle of media. Is it CDs or VHS?
Oh man, this is fucking stupid too. What? God damn it. Why did we do this?
I didn't vote.
Someone steal my vote.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go VHS on this one because CDs skip, and I fucking hate that. Whereas, unless
Yeah,
you're
they look
Josh
bad.
with the worn out fucking 5 minutes of a VHS, you weirdo. Like those ones, they stay true. They stay strong. You know.
Yeah.
When technology dies, those are still gonna be alive. Okay.
VHS gets a vote. Josh.
I'm going CDs because you can skip.
Because they can.
Because they can't put it.
Because I can. You just move on to the next song.
Okay. So the funny part about this is that Missy literally asked you guys for somebody to steal her vote.
And we did it.
I can't. I don't have it.
And now, I'm
Missy,
assuming because she didn't want to vote on this one. Now she's tie-breaking decision.
Yeah, I mean, Bubbles pointed out a lot of stuff about, like, you know, how CDs were like just glorified records, really. Like, they're not really that useful, and they weren't that as versatile as VHS. So she swayed me in a VHS.
Yeah.
Because
Josh.
Because if you left the videotape out of the packet, it didn't destroy it, so you couldn't watch that section of the movie that you wanted to watch because it would skip, and you're like, oh, is this being cleaned? And you didn't have to worry. Like, you obviously had to clean them, but you could watch. By the time to clean the VHS, you had to watch it at least, like, I don't know, 30 times before or something. Like,
these people never had their VHS tape crumpled up inside the recorder. Had to get it out.
Yeah, we did, but it wasn't. I don't know. It feels like you were just rewinding and fast forwarding constantly.
Pause button was used.
If I go back,
Yes, pause.
Seen a VHS that I watched 20 years ago. I bet it's in the same spot I fucking left it.
I'm looking at one. I'm looking at one because it's a VHS tape of from the 90s from a video camera. I'm looking at one as we speak, and it still works. And that's how I got it transferred from the VHS to digital by a local business. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Josh isn't mad that VHS moves on anyway, because then he can continually hear you say VHS.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Not mad.
Like, not bad. Not bad. Josh starts us off on this one. Josh, is it Macarena or As If?
Fuck that dance. As If.
As If gets a vote. Missy?
Macarena.
Ooh.
Macarena.
Tie-breaking decision. Bubbles.
You know what?
Do you want to know who's facing the next round?
Yeah, I do.
See, the Macarena or As If will be facing Beanie Babies.
So does it even matter?
It doesn't even matter. I will go ahead. We're going to do, and I'm going to say it. I guess I'm going to say it properly because, like I said, I'm going to trust Missy's dialect on this. The Macarena.
Macarena. One Maca, two Maca, three Macarena. Yep.
So what's your final, Bubbles?
Mine was Macarena.
Macarena.
Moves on 2-1 to the next round. Missy starts this one off. Either the internet or Tamagotchi.
Oh.
Internet.
Gets a vote. Bubbles.
Competition.
Tamagotchis were the first things I've ever starved.
The first thing you starved?
Yeah, the first thing.
Is there more?
Plants.
Plants. Myself.
Team FTK.
Right? FTK. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with the internet on this one because again, the internet just really fucking ties everybody together.
It gets a vote. Josh, finish us out.
And the internet tears us apart. I'm going with internet.
The internet.
Moves on to sweep. Bubbles finishes out round 2. Is it Pokemon or Walkman? Both of these are sweeps last round.
Oh shit. You know what? I'm gonna go Pokemon on this one. I feel like I love Pokemon Go. I love the video games. I love fucking Pokemon Snap. Pokemon's the shit. I'm going with that one.
Gets a vote, Josh.
I'm going with Pokemon as well, and it's not even a lover of it.
I love Pokemon.
And Missy, finish us out.
Walkman.
2-1. Faces another 2-1 in the next round. That is the end of round 2. We'll be right back right after this break. All right. Missy, you have some stuff to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been going for like nearly 2 hours now. So, yeah, only got about 10 minutes left. How much time will you guys be?
It's going to be more than 10 minutes.
Okay. How long though? I'm curious. Like,
probably 20 at least.
okay.
I mean, we could go quicker, but we got to keep that in mind. So, do you want to keep going and just kind of split where you need to split?
Yes.
All right.
So what, should somebody just log out, like just leave when when my partner and okay.
Well, just let me know and I'll sign you out.
Okay, I just got to go 2 seconds. I just got to go and unlock a door. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
She doesn't want to go because she loves us.
I know. I'm thinking the same thing.
Because we're so awesome.
Well, she is. I think she's set for another show in the spring because we're doing a Australian Pacific show. It just happens to be on Mania weekend, which drives me nuts because today's SummerSlam, and I'm missing it. So I'll be missing the first night of freaking WrestleMania as well.
I can't relate to you, Freddie. I don't want
I know.
There was a time before Brock Lesnar and Goldberg ruined it all.
Yeah, it still ruins it too.
Okay.
I haven't decided if I'm going to stay up and watch the pay-per-view that I'm missing right now. I got the first 3 matches and I called all 3 of them. So I kind of want to watch the rest of them. And I guarantee you, if I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm going to see is spoilers.
Yep.
So, like, I'm going to have to watch it tonight so I don't get spoilers. But I don't know.
Sounds like Missy's back.
Is Missy back?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. Welcome back for round 3 and beyond. It looks like Bubbles
Yes.
starts us off on this one. Bubbles, is it I'm gonna give you this one. Is it Troll Dolls or VHS?
It's VHS.
VHS gets a vote. Josh?
Damn, she could have stole a vote. She could have had her VHS move on.
Oh,
Nope.
man.
Bye-bye, VHS.
This is terrible.
It's not terrible, Missy. You got this and you can vote right.
Oh, you know what I'm going to vote for, even though you know my obsession with troll dolls.
What?
So
Okay.
is Troll Dolls your final?
What, mine? No, I can't. I can't choose troll dolls over VHS. You can't. That would be a crime. VHS revolutionized the world in way more ways than troll dolls. As much as I love my troll dolls.
I was so confident in my
You were
vote.
so confident. And I was sitting there, I was like, I don't know. Like, I was like, this could actually go either way because I know she loves her troll dolls, But I was like, and then there's that VHS, and then we of course love how you say it.
By the way, with that VHS does move on, but I would like to reiterate, this is the next 3 matchups are the last time to use your steal a vote. Bubbles and Missy have not used your steal a vote yet.
Don't know whose vote to steal. Okay.
Well, it just depends on what happens, and it doesn't matter because whoever vote you steal, it automatically wins on a 3-person vote. Josh and Missy also haven't used their pass to parcel as well, so you always have that option over the next 3. Josh starts us off on this one. Josh, I'm gonna give you this one. Is it Pogs or Pokemon?
Okay.
Am I allowed to steal
Now
your
this
vote?
one.
Man, fuck us.
Now this one's
You know?
easy for me, but I think you guys are gonna.
Can I steal his vote? I'm stealing his vote.
Yeah.
You have to wait for your turn,
Okay.
so you can still Bubbles vote.
Yeah, you
That's
still
who you can
Bubbles.
steal.
But I am going with Pogs.
We got one more topping.
Okay, well, I have to steal. I'm stealing Bubbles.
Okay, that's fair because I don't know which way to choose, so I'm okay with it.
It's Pokemon.
Pokemon gets Missy's and Bubbles vote. Bubbles, you have a preference on this one?
I don't. I really don't.
Too hard, yeah. I mean,
This
easy for
one's
me. but
difficult for me because
hard.
I love both of these. If I was forced to choose, I'd probably go Pokemon on this one.
Either way, Pokemon moves
And
on
that's-
2-1 to the next round. Missy starts this one off. Missy, is it? And I got to make sure to write down. You already stole your vote. Is it the internet or Spice Girls?
Oh, I mean, it's the internet. Because, I mean, without the internet, we probably, we can't. Society doesn't even wouldn't function without the internet. So it's revolutionary. It's the greatest thing to happen to humanity.
And
Sorry,
probably
it
the
doesn't
worst at the
exist.
same time.
Yeah, and worse. But yeah, I mean, I can't. No one can live without it, and especially being a scientist and having access to all that information, incredible.
Bubbles, is it the internet or Spice Girls?
Oh, it's got to be the internet. Yeah, for all reasons previously said.
Mhm.
Just know that if I was voting, I would have stolen somebody's vote and voted for the Spice Girls just to get the internet off of this list. Did a total bastard move. Josh, finish this out. Is it the internet or Spice Girls?
I think they all forget the Spice Girls invented the internet. The world cannot live without the Spice Girls. Spice Girls all the way.
2-1.
I don't really believe that.
I thought that was
We're using the internet.
Al Gore who
No, we're
invented
using
the.
the Spice Girls.
Wouldn't be the first time. Bubbles, back to you. It starts off. Is it Beanie Babies or the Macarena?
Oh, it's absolutely the Beanie Babies.
Last time to steal a vote.
And I'm going to go ahead and, Missy, I'm going to steal your vote.
Oh, God. Okay.
We're going to go with the Beanie Babies just because I want to steal a vote. And
Okay.
All right, that means Josh, finish this one out. Is it Beanie Babies or Macarena?
I'll stay nostalgic and I'll go with the Beanie Babies.
Out of curiosity, Missy, even though it is a 3-0, moving on to the next round, would it been a Beanie Babies or Macarena?
I probably would have. I would have gone with Beanie Babies. I think maybe because it was it was so big among kids.
All right, steal a votes are off the board. Pass the parcels are also off the board. Nobody has blown a load. You guys all have this option all the way to the end. Josh starts us off. I'm going to give you these 4 options. You can choose one, and we'll start off with that matchup. Is it VHS, Pokemon, the internet, or Beanie Babies?
Okay.
Pick one of those 4.
VHS.
VHS. VHS is facing off with the internet.
Oh, Come on.
This is
My
terrible.
turn?
Duck cake, you, Freddie.
Yeah, this is not. No.
I think Freddie doesn't know that I'm a major kleptomaniac, and even though I'm out of steal boats, I'll still steal a boat. No, but bye-bye, VHS. We're going internet.
Internet gets a vote. Missy?
Ah, it's the internet. It has to be. How can it?
Gets another one. Bubbles, finish this out.
Okay. So, as we previously discussed earlier in the podcast about us Americans and our conspiracy theories and how we just extra enjoy those, what happens when they what is it called when they set off like the electrical impulse thing?
The EMPs
There we go.
go off when we lose our internet.
Yeah, what are we gonna have? Fucking VHS.
Well, the VHSs are going to be destroyed too.
Yeah, it'd be destroyed too because that's a magnetic.
But in magnetic field, will wipe your VHSs clean.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
riddle me
I don't
this.
know what to do. I was thinking, and for some reason, like I'm thinking all VHSs are underground, and that's just gonna save them too. So
Well, even then, none of your TVs would work. None of your VHS players would work.
yeah, I don't think underground.
Your power
Unless
wouldn't
they were
work.
in a Faraday cage that rerouted the electric current around that, but it would have to be an insulated cage.
Oh,
So
it's a lot of work. So I
Either
guess-
way, VHS moves on to the third place position while the internet moves on to the final two.
it's going to be the internet versus Pokemon.
Missy, is it Beanie Babies or Pokemon?
Oh, Pokemon.
Pokemon gets a vote. Bubbles.
Beanie Babies.
It is a tie-breaking decision coming down to Josh on this one.
Choose Beanie Babies over Pokemon.
Josh knows it will be facing the internet in the finals, and whoever loses this will be facing VHS for third place. Is it Beanie Babies or Pokemon?
Pokemon versus the internet. Let's go, baby. This is going to be the hardest matchup. What can
No.
we not live without?
Oh, let's do 2-1.
You hate the
I'm trying to
internet.
write down notes here. All right. Which means Beanie Babies moves on to the third place. All right. Bubbles. By the way, all three of you have not blown a load yet. You have 2 matchups left in this entire thing. Bubbles, is it for third place? Is it VHS or Beanie Babies?
Oh.
It's Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies gets a vote. Josh.
Beanie Babies, it is.
And Missy finishes out.
Wait, and what was it again? Sorry.
VHS or Beanie Babies?
Oh, VHS. Of course.
Beanie Babies gets third place with the 2-1 vote off of that one. Josh starts off the final matchup. Nobody has blown a load. Josh, is it Pokemon or the internet?
I think you could play Pokemon without the internet too, using the cards. But what source would I use to distribute all of my comedy? What source would I use to input all of my porn?
Both of those have been active well before the internet.
But not for me. My distribution and my intake has been one single source.
You've got radio.
And that's
you've got television.
what radio porn have I done?
Hey.
What?
I've done essentially radio porn, not radio voice porn.
In the final matchup, internet versus Pokemon. I've never Pokemon porned. I mean, and I've never Pokemon comedy. I don't think.
Well, we do coffee and comics, and so I feel like that's close enough because there's Pokemon.
So I'm gonna go with the ultimate champion, the internet.
Internet gets a vote. Missy. Internet, Pokemon.
It's got to be the internet. Like, why? Yeah. I mean, the reason I'm talking to you, if it was like the internet with the phone, I'd be like, but yeah, no. It's
That damn dial-up sound. God.
Yes.
And Bubbles finishes out. Is it the internet and Pokemon?
I won't be able to finish unless Missy makes that sound again.
Which one? VHS? No.
No, the
Oh.
She gets paid for that. You're not paying your subscription fees.
I was paid.
She's retired. She's living.
Oh, thank you.
Her payment is the ability to laugh her ass off on this show. That's what it is.
My vote's going to go ahead and be for the internet as well, because without the internet, we would not have this wonderful podcast meeting all of these wonderful people across the globe.
Internet wins the day with a 3-0 vote. Moves on to the finals next week because we're doing a full 64 bracket on here. By the way, the internet, when we did this on Bracketology, won the entire thing. So there's that. That is our show this week there, guys. Bubbles, where can people find you?
You can find me right here on Bracket Bastards, or you can also find me on TikTok under Jessie Marie.
And you can find Josh at?
I live at 123 Big Walk Way, or Daddy Kong 83 on TikTok.
And our very, very special guest this week, Missy.
You can find me. I've just recently got TikTok like 5 days ago. Missy XD on TikTok. And there's a picture of my book as the actual display picture. You can also find me on Facebook, Missy XD, and you can find my book on Amazon, KDP.
And of course, I'm your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me at that on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracketology and Bracket Bastards on Bracketology. We have 2 different polls going up currently. It is drawing a complete blank right now. It is the Would You Rather Not bracket, which we did a couple weeks ago. And the other one, something else we did a couple weeks ago on here, is the Bracket Bastards Championship matchups, which unfortunately Jurassic Park is still in the running for that one. It beat out Shrek in the first round, so that winner is still there. I applaud you guys to that you made that go on, but I abhor you guys to not let it go on any further. You can find me all those on Twitter at Fisher777. We're all at Bracket Pod, and as always, you can find me on Instagram at Can't Lick Me. Not one word. I tried to end every single show with a quote, kind of going with the theme of the show. And today's show is a nod to the 90s. And it deals with nostalgia. So today's quote is from Dr. Seuss. Going back to my childhood, it says, "Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." I will leave you guys with that one. You guys have a good week. We will see you next Saturday.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, Sam.
Bye.